There it is.
Guys, welcome to another edition of the Here We Go Brownies Show.
Whoa, whoa,
This
whoa.
week, a little special edition. Allie is traveling for the wonderful holiday, as it is a Merry Christmas Eve and a Christmas miracle to all the Cleveland fans out there today, ladies and gentlemen. We are joined by Larry Lorello. You all know him as the Kennel in the Muni Lot and Lorello Vineyards out in Geneva. And look at that with the Here We Go Brownies wine right there. Look at that. Love that. Ray Showdog Prisby, 2021. Am I correct? Or is it 2020 or 2021? 2021 Hall of Fan member Ray Showdog Prisby is in the house. Gentlemen, gentlemen, let's just get right into this. This is a game where the Texans, for whatever reason, were favored by 2.5 going into this football game. And I'm watching this game thinking, wow, what is happening in this game? What is going on with Joe Flacco? And what is going on with Amari Cooper? Because it didn't matter who they put on Amari Cooper today. He would not be stopped, guys. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about this. The Browns come away with a big win, 36-22. And by the way, we did not clinch, but we are 99% chance to make the playoffs. And I think we'll be able to clinch that next Thursday, Larry.
Next Thursday, that would be good. Champagne tailgate.
So, gentlemen, I know you watched this, and this was an away game. We didn't get to watch this in front of the faithful there in Cleveland. But tell us, let's just start in the first quarter, Ray. Larry, let's talk about how this game started to take off and what your thoughts were from the beginning of the right. As you know, they just went right down the field on a beautiful boom, big plays to Amari and then in the end zone. But give us your take how this game started and what it turned into as we got towards that first half.
Give him hell, Ray. Is it me or Ray?
Go ahead, Ray.
Oh, well, okay, so it's like almost every game, once we go down the field, the first possession and score, it's like that sets the tone for the rest of the game. And he just went right down the field, boom, 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 boom. And but what really just irritated the crap out of me is the announcers kept on emphasizing all the players that the Houston team had on injured. And I'm like, have you looked at our injury report? Seriously? But no, all in all, we pretty much once we went down the field, let's just say this, I was comfortable after that first touchdown.
Well, let's just put it this way: when they said the injured, Houston Texas team, I wanted to say, how about the depleted Cleveland Browns? Like, exactly. I mean, you could put a 60-inch TV screen of all the people that are out of the game for the season or injured. So, again, Larry, you know this. It doesn't come easy for us. We don't get any respect. That's the Cleveland way. It's Cleveland against the world, right?
Hey, listen, comfortable is a perfect way to describe it. All the way until kicker comes down. I mean, it really. The first time I remember a long time. By the first part of the fourth quarter, you already knew you were going to win. You want to talk about comfort? That don't happen in Cleveland, man. That don't happen in Cleveland. That's amazing. Just absolutely amazing.
Well, I was going to say, just look back to the Cavaliers in the championship, right? That wasn't easy. They had to come back from 3-1, and we didn't know till about 10 seconds left in that basketball game that they were going to be world champions. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about Amari Cooper. While you guys talk about that, I'm going to talk about, and I'll bring up the stats in a minute, but let's just go into Amari Cooper because, I mean, obviously he is the big story today. What he did for the Browns and what he did kind of in NFL history today. So go ahead. Whichever one of you guys wants to take it away.
I'll go first, only because I looked it up. Because I was thinking that it was probably Ozzie Newsome record that he broke, but I should have thought more current because it was Josh Gordon. But even all in all, I mean, he just put on. they put on a clinic today, Cooper and Flacco. It was just anything that he threw to him, he was pretty much catching. And then after that, you add Njoku in the mix, and man, it was a great passing game today.
Yeah, 211 receptions, 265 yards, with an average of 24.1 yards per reception for 2 touchdowns and a long on the day of 75 yards. Sorry, those are Hall of Fame numbers for a wide receiver that can do that kind of stuff. Amari Cooper, I thought it was silly near the end of the game. Flacco was laughing like, I'm just going to keep throwing it to you because clearly they can't stop you. Even when, they brought him back in the game, Flacco and Cooper, they couldn't stop him. That combination today, they could not stop. Larry, what'd you think of that?
Well, listen, I'm the first to say that I was telling you before this whole thing happened that Italians don't do well as quarterbacks in the NFL. Well, apparently, I'm ready to eat my words at that one. Because the only thing that's different in the last 7 or 8 games with Amari Cooper is Joe Flacco. I mean, the ball is perfect. I mean, when he described it as poetry 2-3 weeks ago, really, that was literally a good way to describe something that's coming in so perfect in a spiral with the right velocity. So it's, for Cooper, he can catch damn near anything that gets around his body. But to have something that's coming in that nice all the way through the game, hell, it's making it easy for both of them. It's amazing to see it.
Yeah, and just want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at the Barley House. If you guys are going to be around next Thursday, come join us. Larry's going to be down there. Ray's going to come down there. The great Hall of Famer Joe Thomas will be down there 3 to 4 doing a meet and greet. And then he'll be serving drinks behind the bar, slinging it. Hall of Famer, slinging drinks for all the Browns faithful from 4 to 5. But that's from our great friends at the Barley House. And they'll be putting on a huge New Year's Eve party, New Year's Eve in Cleveland. I'm looking forward to coming to Cleveland on Thursday, guys. I think the city is going to be electric on Thursday Night Football. I think this is going to be an amazing time to be in Cleveland. And we all know this, both of you. The city's a different city after the Browns win on a Sunday or a Thursday or whenever. I'm telling you, it is a different energy in the city. You can feel it. The people are in a different mood. It's a different psyche. And I just think coming after this big win on a short week, that city is going to be buzzing. And as Larry said, mimosas for the tailgate all the way up to kickoff.
There you go. There you go. It's a champagne day. Champagne day.
So let's talk about this a little bit, guys. Let's get into, again, a game, and I'm assuming it is, another game where Joe Flacco throws for over 40 passes. It's interesting. For whatever reason, the last several weeks, the running game has kind of, I won't say disappeared, but it has went into the background. And I just think it's because we have a quarterback that can just sling it. And I mean, when I say sling it, he just has no fear in throwing that football. What do you guys think about that? Is that any concerns to you guys as we go into next week, the following weekend of the playoffs? It just seems like he's playing at such a high level right now and throwing that ball 30 to 40 times a game. Just curious about your guys' perception of that.
Yeah, wait a second. So, first of all, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Let's not get out ahead of ourselves. Okay?
Sure.
Secondly, when it comes to all of us, we're watching history. I said this before a couple weeks ago, and again, we're watching history right now. Records are being broken. We're getting far enough into the time where the playoffs are. This is special stuff. So as far as looking at it and being concerned about it, I mean, especially on the social media where everyone's trying to critique and, well, we should run more and everything else. Man, listen, just calm down, take a deep breath, relax, and stop trying to fix something that ain't broke. Okay, that's just what I'm telling everybody.
Well, and Larry, think about this. Yourself and I, both of us, have witnessed 2 road losses this year. Yourself and me, we went out to Seattle, and then we went out to LA. And I think this win on the road was big in a lot of ways because it showed that they can win on the playoffs. They can win on the road in the playoffs. And obviously the Seattle game was a different quarterback. But I think this can be a really dangerous team, and we don't know where our seedings are going to end at the end of the day and where we're going to have to go. But I feel confident now looking at this football team that they can travel well. they can play well on the road because you know what they always say, defenses travel. And literally that was proven today that defenses do travel on the road. What are your guys' thoughts on that? This is obviously the first time in several weeks that the Browns have won a game on the road. And this is a big deal, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Give her hell,
What
Ray.
do you think?
Well, okay. So, yeah, well, here's the thing. Towards the end of the year, you have the teams that are vying for playoffs, so they're playing lights out, and then you have the teams that don't really have anything to lose, so they're playing for the draft picks. Come on, we've been there before as Browns fans, so we know what a team looks like when they're playing for draft picks. So
Yeah.
I just think now that with these last two, the Jets, I'm not sure if the Jets are all the way out of it. I think they may have a mathematical chance. And then after that, Bengals.
They're eliminated.
Okay, so yeah. we might catch a break Thursday, but then follow that.
Tell them to take a knee. Take a knee.
Exactly. But then we finish up with a team rival, the Bengals, and we might be in a position where we can rest all our starters come that game. So I think it all's going to come down to how well we do this Thursday night, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and let's get to let's talk about the elephant in the room. Obviously, we decided to not kick the field goals or anything after that. After Dustin Hopkins went down, Larry and I were talking about a little bit of this offline, but it looks like it's a hammy. Ray, have you heard anything else? It looks like he just has a hamstring thing.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, it's just, and I think maybe more than anything, they were being precautionary at that point. They didn't want to aggravate it anymore. And when you're up by 17, 20 points, do you really risk it? You know what I'm saying? Like you need this guy for the long run. And right. I think they just didn't want to risk it. And I think Stefanski believes 180% in his defense and knew that if he had to put his defense back out there, he would. So long story short, it is a short week. So if you need a kicker, that could become an issue where you may have to go get a guy off the street or find a kicker, just to fill in. But again, that's a temporary situation, not a permanent situation based on, it seemed like Dustin was able at least to walk on, you know what I mean? It didn't look like it was one of those things where he was put in a boot or anything like that. Did you hear any more, Larry?
No, but I think it's, like you were saying, we were talking offline. If they have to rest them this weekend, the rest of them, don't worry about it. I mean, get somebody, get a goal, or get somebody in for one day. He'll do fine, whoever it is. Except, I don't know. I used to like Cade York, so you can bring him back if you want, but that would probably not go over well with the fans.
Larry, you might have people at the gates.
I know, but I like this number 3 though. That's what it was. It was a number 3. But as far as I'm concerned, also what this does is create some level of controversy or a backstory for the Browns going into the playoffs where, hey, maybe the kicker's not doing that well and everything else. You got a chance to psych out the other team, assuming that it is just a real light nothing. You might as well ham it up as much as you can, use it. Use it to your advantage.
I'm hearing that we may have a kicker on the practice squad, but I haven't been able to confirm that yet, though. But that's what I was hearing during that fourth quarter. That's what a lot of people were talking about. That we do actually have a kicker on, but he's on the practice squad. So I guess we'll know tomorrow. We'll know Tuesday.
Well, we can always see if Phil Dawson is done coaching. Well, yeah, he'd be done coaching high school football at this point, so we could just bring Phil Dawson in for a game.
He could at least get the extra points in, no problem.
Right.
Somebody online, and you guys, maybe you guys have a little, because Ray, you're the historian on this, and Larry, you may know a little bit about this. Obviously, Kareem went to Kent State, and then he grew up in Cleveland. One of the persons was asking out there, why wasn't Kareem kicking? Is there any history? What's that?
Kareem went to Toledo.
Or Toledo, but sorry. Yeah. Is there any history with him kicking? Because there was a comment made that why isn't he out there doing some kicking? So did he do that in high school? Do we know if he did that at Toledo?
No. That was a horrible joke that they were. In other words, when he got in trouble, he was caught on film kicking.
Oh, okay.
Somebody was trying to be funny. I read a couple of those, and I just
there it is. Okay. All right. Again,
No,
like
but-
Larry said,
I can't believe you came back. Well, yeah, I heard that he was a kicker.
I was just trying to put that to rest. But no,
Yeah.
I get it. That's a joke. Oh yeah, no pun intended. Get
Well,
it.
but you got to
And a
ask your
horrible-
question.
horrible
You tell
joke.
me there's nobody on the field that can actually kick an extra point? You know what I mean?
Well,
There's 53 athletes out there that are the best athletes in the world. Oh, surely somebody could get a foot into it.
well, no. Full disclosure. You saw DeAnthony Bell, good friend of the program. He's been on a couple times. He actually ended up kicking that. In a couple of those, DeAnthony Bell did kick the ball
Oh, is that right?
down the field, which made me think he must have had some kind of kicking skills in high school, or did something as a backup kicker or something. Because I don't think you put a guy like that in there that's a backup kind of player unless he's got some kind of skill set. So,
Right.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to look at the kicking situation. I was not able to catch Stefanski's post game press conference to see if he made any comments about the kicking situation, but I'm sure we'll know more about that in the near future.
Yeah.
Guys, let's just get into it. By the way, if you don't have stadium mustard at your home, you're doing it wrong. It is the iconic, original, authentic stadium mustard. You can find it at any of your local restaurants. If it's not there, ask for it. Larry even has it for sale out there in Geneva, Ohio at the winery. But go online to stadiummustard.com to get yours today. And if you use the 25% off code, you can get it for 25% off, which is a great deal. Ray, Thursday, we got a big game coming up. The Jets, like I said, they are not playing, they're spoilers, right? They're not going to probably be playing for anything other than spoilers. They ended up winning today, right? They came back and kicked the late field goal against the Commanders, so they won 28-20 or 30-28, something like that.
28-27.
Yeah, so they're going to come in a little fired up. Again, they'll be coming in on a short week. But honestly, I got to be completely confident. I have no problem putting our defense up against anybody. I'm sorry, in the National Football League. The way these guys are playing on defense, it's incredible. It's incredible, to be honest, that a team could be ranked number one for multiple weeks and play so tight as a unit. But Larry, anything concern you about a Jets team coming in here on Thursday night on a short week into Cleveland?
Just the injuries. I mean, literally, that's the only thing you worry about is. But I mean, like you're saying, they're playing as a team that's already done for the season. Players don't want to get hurt, especially if they're not playing for anything at that point. And that's when a team like ours could get into some trouble because you got guys that are just loafing around, and those are the easiest injuries that are where a guy's just not playing full tilt when you are. So I mean, other than that, no, I got a couple of Jets buddies that are back home that'll be pissed at me for saying it, but I think I'm not afraid of the Jets at all. Hey,
well,
and that's 100% hope with no expectation.
Right, Larry. And as I say, based on your knowledge there, I would say that you must have watched the Medical Minute in the last show about the stats on players that are not. So this is an interesting stat. If you look over the last several years, players get injured more that are not in a playoff contention or a playoff team. So that is interesting. So there might be something to your comment there, Larry, that you kind of loaf around. You're a little more relaxed. You're not, kind of like, I don't know what you want to call it, but focused might be a good way to put it.
No, you're not running full speed with the rest of the game. You're running at a slower pace so that the guy who's going full speed, he gets tripped up and he gets hurt. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
that's the damn problem.
Yeah.
But
Ray, what do you think about this Thursday matchup coming up? What do you think?
Well, I thought we had the game in the bag last year when we played the Jets, and I left the game early. So I don't want to as Larry, so I'm not going to jump out there because, hey, I can remember driving, and I'm like, oh, we got this, and I turned the radio on, and onside kick, and another, and so no, but if everything goes as planned, yeah, it should be an easy victory.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. The guy that came back to beat us in that Jets game just happens to
Right,
be our starting quarterback
Yeah,
now.
he's on our
So
side now.
yeah,
Exactly.
so you know what they say, the enemy of the enemy is your best friend, right? So you just put him on your side of this, and then you don't have to deal with him.
That's right.
Let's get a little bit more back into this game today, guys. Like you said, Larry, it's kind of weird to be at the end of the third quarter, relaxed, not having a cardiac kid kind of moment. This team is 10-5. This is a really good football team. This is a team that can go 12-5, and I didn't even have them at 12-5 this year. I did not have this team at 12-5 this year. You did, but I didn't have this. I didn't have this team at 12-5 with Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb, just because how competitive the AFC is, right? I was like, okay, 10, 11 wins. Bengals are probably going to win the division. I certainly didn't see the Ravens playing as well as they did. But again, this game today just showed me that this team can go on the road in the playoffs and scare the hell out of people. That's what I took away from this game today, is that this team could go into a place not being intimidated by the away crowd. And you know why I think that is? You have a guy like Joe Flacco that has, I mean, this is crazy to think that he's tied with Tom Brady for the most playoff victories of any quarterback in the NFL history. Like, I don't think
Boy.
anything. Think about it, guys. When he's out there, does he look phased at all to you? He doesn't look phased at all in that football game. Like, it doesn't
Right.
even like it. It doesn't even bother him. Like, he's seen so much in his career. I think at this point he's almost. I don't know if you guys kind of see it and feel it. He's playing so loose and just so like relaxed. Like, he's done everything in his career, right? He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to the playoff mode. Yeah.
I think the term is he's playing with house money. Because he is.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
he really has nothing to lose. So guess what? He's like a big kid out there, 14 years old again, playing football, having fun.
Well, and you know what?
I love it.
And I'll even say this. I think he's even appreciative of the opportunity, because he made the comment. He goes, not one team, including the Jets, which, by the way, Allie and I talked on this on a previous show. I think it is wild that the Jets did not call for him to come back in with the type of roster they have this year, because I think if he would have gotten that call from the Jets, we're talking about a very different Jets team right now, and they're probably a playoff team. Full disclosure, based on the way he's playing. I mean, he would be bringing those same assets to the Jets. And it was interesting for him to say, nobody called me, but as soon as the Browns called me and I started and they saw my success, I got multiple calls. So I just think it's very interesting how a guy like that, and here's the truth too. We know this about the NFL. Look at the quarterbacks that have went down in this season. I mean, this has been the year of the backup quarterbacks. If you look at how many quarterbacks have went down and got injured or went out for the season, I look at this as a Cleveland Browns that had a car that was chugging along, and it was about at 120,000 miles. And they got a new engine in Joe Flacco that comes in, not beat up, not banged up, brand new like a rebuild engine ready to go. We got lucky in this situation that he was so ready to come off, not being hurt, because we talk about this time in the season when he came in, there's no healing for players, right? You'll hear players say there is no healing. And as the season goes on, after the Sunday game, by Wednesday or Thursday, you start to feel okay, right? Because you're beat up so much during the season. Let's just put it this way. Joe Flacco's not beat up. He has been healthy the last he's been healthy for 10 months. He comes in, the offensive line has given him the time that he needs. And by the way, those receivers are open. And just not to get off on a tangent here, but what I saw today is he's getting the ball to Tillman. He's getting it to everybody. He's getting it to our backup tight ends today. I mean, he's getting it to guys that he has no rhythm or history with, right? Like as a quarterback, and he's getting it in their hands today in rhythm down the field for big first down plays. And I just think it's remarkable. I don't know if we'll see anything like this in the NFL again. Honestly.
Yeah, who was the receiver that dropped the ball right in his hands, middle of the field in the third or fourth quarter? It was one of the younger kids, the rookie.
David Bell?
No, David Bell. Anyway, the point was when he dropped that ball, you actually stop for a second and go, oh, wait, somebody actually dropped the ball? Because, I mean,
Right.
literally, it was a non-contested ball, and he dropped it, and
Right.
none were dropped today. Contested balls get dropped, but non-contested balls that come right in your hand from Joe Flacco, if it hits your two hands, well, for the most part, all of them get caught all day long. It's amazing.
Right. And if you notice, he's not throwing it like a bullet either, but he's not throwing
No,
it soft either.
right.
It's like
Velocity's perfect.
he's got that touch to where, like Amari and some of these other guys have said, like when they grab it, it's just easy to catch. I guess that was kind of their it's not a hard ball to catch, and it's easy to get in a rhythm with him. And for him to get, like you said, he's been on the team less than a month, and now he has. Is this his second win? Is that correct? Is this his second win as a starter? He's 2-1 now. Am I doing the math right?
I think I thought it was the third one.
Third one. So today's his
Third
third.
one.
So
Third
one.
he's 3-1 as a starter. So he's been here a month. Like that is incredible to think that he's been able to do this.
Actually, you know what, Dustin, for next week's show, you should look at a stat on all the receivers that played yesterday, and what were their average catches all year long compared to yesterday? Because that's how good he was today.
Yeah, how their trajectory was.
Yeah, all of them, because every one of them were catching balls.
Well, I mean, if you think about the records that were broken today, our good friend Eric Metcalf, we love him to death. His record was broken today for an away game total receiving yards on the road with over 217 or whatever it was. So crazy, right? That you can put up those kind of numbers. And the fact that he had the numbers he had today. Let's talk about Njoku in this game. Njoku continues to be, obviously Njoku wasn't the story today. But Njoku continues to be that guy that makes the tough catch and gets the yards after catch. What do you guys think of the MVP type of year that Njoku's having as well?
Well, I think he's making let's put it like this. Since we've had Flacco, between Cooper and Njoku, man, they're like video game catches. Like the one catch today that Njoku had, it was in the end zone, two guys on him. He threw it over the first guy's head and put it to the outside where only Njoku could get it. I was like, who throws like that? Really?
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, and Njoku's, and I think in the last couple of, the beginning of the year, all the different quarterbacks he was dealing with, his sweet spot is velocity. Okay, I mean the ball's coming in at such a good velocity for him right now. It just sticks to his hands, because in past, you have some guys are throwing it too slow, some guys are throwing it way too fast, and he just doesn't catch those balls. But in the last 3 weeks, man, it's like as soon as it gets near him, it just stuck right to him, and I think it has a lot to do with velocity and location,
Yeah.
But he's today's catch today in the end zone, that was a spectacular catch because the guy was in front of him.
Right.
So literally, he's got a visual block,
Yeah.
and the ball's coming in just the right spot for him to grab that ball. I mean, it was on both sides of the ball. It was a phenomenal play. Phenomenal.
Yeah, and just quick words to our friends over at the Cleveland Furniture Company. If you want to redecorate your home or redecorate a room in your home, go to the great guys over there at Cleveland Furniture Company, locally owned and operated, family business, 5 locations. Hey, who doesn't like some new furniture or want to redecorate a room for the new year? Hey, do you have a Browns cave that you want to redo and put some nice new furniture in there? Go see our friends over at the Cleveland Furniture Company. With 5 locations in the Cleveland area. Guys, let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about special teams today. That would be probably the only weak link that I could say that kind of stood out to me on this game. Venerable, brought up the point where he kind of coached the special teams guy over on the Texans. But, man, you don't normally see a return for a touchdown anymore when you kick the ball off to the opposing team. And the fact that he had the angle on that, to me, the special teams just seemed a little bit off today, guys. What was your thoughts on the special teams in general today? But that was kind of the only thing that I thought was kind of the weak link today was the special teams.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I saw in that run back was, if you watch the replay, as he's coming through the hole, the offensive guy had, I don't know who it was, one of our guys, he had him holding on
Held.
to him. He was
I
being
know.
held, and he
That
was
was a hold. I
right.
saw.
He was right in. He was being held, but he was surrounded by everyone. So number one, it was hard for them to see the hold.
Right.
And the guy was good enough to let him go right as he's going by.
Yeah.
And that would have been a tackle right there because he was the one stuffed in the hole, and there was no one there. But
yeah, that guy literally had two hands on, not one, but two hands on
Yeah.
his jersey. Right. I'm like, how is that not a hold?
yeah,
What's your opinion today, Ray, from the special teams?
Well, aside from us losing our punter and kicker,
oh
the
my God.
run back was. Hey, they've been doing great all year. I'm gonna give them a pass on that one. I'll give them a pass on that one. But if it happens again, heads will roll.
All right. So, by the way, do we have any update on the punter at all? Did he just tweak his thigh leg or something? I saw him kind of exercising his leg. Did he just tweak it or something? What was the story with the punter today as well?
Yeah, that's what we saw. The same thing. On the sideline, they were rubbing him down.
Right.
He's fine. I'm worried more about Hawkins than I'm worried about the punter.
Yeah, D-Hop, yeah.
Hopkins, whatever. Our kicker. I root for the numbers. I mean, Nick Chubb's the only guy I know his name on the field.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Larry.
I know. It's good. I deserve it.
Yes. Speaking of 19 guys, I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't mention that Bernie Kosar's wonderful new coffee, Kosar Coffee, is out there, guys. 19% off if you go to Kosar Coffee and sign up for Kosar Coffee. It's got the vitamin D in it. What's that? Are you there?
You there, Ray?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm here.
Yeah, we're here. I can see you.
We lost Dustin. We'll just run the show without him. Hey, how's it going, folks?
No, he's still here.
I'm still here.
I can't see it. No, he's blank. I don't see him on the.
Oh, well, I can see you.
Is he talking?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll shut
up. So yeah, Kosar Coffee. Go to kozarcoffee.com to get 19% off. But yeah, today, was a special day for Browns fans, 10-5. It's kind of fitting. I don't know, maybe it's not fitting or not. The fact that the Cleveland Browns didn't clinch today and they can technically clinch 100%. We lost Larry. So let's have Larry log back on real quick. I'll have him. Let's see. I'll just.
Larry,
So anyway, we lost Larry, but that's all right. Larry will come back. But yeah, so Ray, a little bit, just let's talk about this a little bit. Oh, there he is. He's coming back on here. He must have just lost connection. We'll add him on. Larry's back.
Here we are. Go Browns. Go Browns.
Larry just had a little bad connection there. So guys, let's talk about this a little bit, and we'll get more into this. By the way, we'll have a special Tuesday show this week because Allie will be traveling, and I'll obviously be traveling back to Cleveland for the game on Wednesday, so I will not be able to be doing the show. So we're going to do a Tuesday live show. But let's talk a little bit more about this win. Get to 10-5. We secure that 5th seed, as we all know about, for the Browns. Still locked in. Obviously, we'll know a lot more after the Ravens game. By the way, does anybody have an update on the Dolphins score? Does anybody have an update on that Dolphins score? Just curious where that game's at, because I know that has some implications in the game as well. But here's the thing I look at as we go into the rest of this next few days. Do you think, and tell me what you guys think about this, because I think there's pros and cons to this. This is a team that's pretty beat up, and they will need to get healthy. If it's determined after Thursday night that the Cleveland Browns win the game and they have clinched, are you guys, and it's been mathematically figured out that it's not going to really change their seeding, do you rest players? Because I know there's two avenues to this. Do you rest players or do you start your starters? Because coaches are very different on this, right? So I'd like to get your perspective, Ray, and then Larry. Do you rest players if they need it to get healthy? Or do you keep guys out there because you want to keep that repetition going and keep kind of the mojo going? Go ahead, Ray. What's your first thought?
Well, yeah, for me, I'm definitely resting, because you don't want to be the head coach who didn't rest your key players and get them hurt in that last game. So I'm resting. if it's a meaningless game, because we're getting ready to start another season, and they need to be ready for the new season that's about to partake, i.e., the playoffs.
So you're like, hey, rest them if it's not going to change our seeding or win the division type of thing. Okay, got it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Without even thinking about it.
Larry, what's your thoughts on that?
I'll take it one step further. I'll go a la NBA and LeBron James, and I'd say take the whole starting team and just make them unavailable, and take the whole practice squad and put them out there. Literally, not one starter on the whole field. It's definitely not Flacco.
I agree.
Definitely not Flacco. I mean, and start from that. Start from Friday. Well, give him Friday off. Start from Saturday, Monday, whatever, and just be thinking about the following game. Yeah, hell yeah. In the world we got right now, this is history. I don't know how many times I can say this. I'll say this, that if you're still on, I'm talking to everyone out there. If you're still wondering, or you're still questioning, or you're still thinking about, or you haven't come to a game yet, or whatever it is that is holding someone back still, just take a deep breath. I think I said this once. Take a deep breath, come to the game, watch history. And it's too special right now. Sit the team down, make those guys relax a little bit, make sure they realize how important this is. I mean, they know. But man, especially if we could you imagine if we got a home field game? Right. No is the answer to that question. No, it's impossible to know that, because it'd be so unbelievable from so far back.
Yeah,
we broke every other record. Why not that one too?
Well, and let me ask you this. First, I'm just going to do a quick message to our friends over at the Browns Fan Cruise. If you guys are looking to get out of that cold winter weather, because I know Ray don't like it if it's under 40 degrees, and if you want to go out on the ship, guys, go to brownsfancruise.com. Join us. 17 Browns alumni. More will be added, I've been told, in the next few weeks, but go to Browns Fan Cruise, and if you use the code HWGB, that's right, here we go, Brownies, HWGB, you will be entered to win hundreds of dollars in prizes that Allie and I will be giving away on the ship as you join us, and a few lucky participants will be drawn, fans, to come on to the show with us and have the Hall of Famers and some of those Browns players with us on that actual show. How cool is that? You'll have the opportunity to be on with Allie, myself, and some of those Browns legends that will draw some people out so they can come on and do that. So go ahead, go to brownsfancruise.com, put in the codes HWGB. Let me throw this question out to you guys. I've seen Browns teams quit in the past. I've seen teams in Cleveland, the culture, the losing. I see a team that will do whatever bleepity bleep it will take, as Kevin Stefanski would say about this football team. Do you think this Cleveland Browns team, and this is for debate, anybody watching the show, because I want your opinions as well, are the Cleveland Browns possibly the most dangerous team to go up against in the AFC playoffs, just because of the adversity, the comeback wins, and the things that this team has seen that no other team that I can think of has seen that'll be going into these playoffs? Are we the most dangerous team if we're in the playoffs? So just curious. Ray, I'll start with you, and then Larry, I'll kick it over to you.
I think we're going to be dangerous, because anytime because basically we're dogs, and take it a step further, we're junkyard dogs. Anytime you get a junkyard dog backed up, if he back up, however you back him up, and he gets into the playoffs, it's a problem. So yeah, we're going to be a problem for whoever we face.
Well, and especially with the defense, right? I mean, that defense is going to keep offensive coordinators up at night. Larry, what's your thought?
Well, you talk about the chemistry of our team. You just described earlier. Chemistry of past teams has been pack it up, go home, middle of the road, everything else. The reason why we're a dangerous team going in is that we don't need more motivation than what we have right now. We've got better motivation than any other team, any other fan base in the NFL right now, barring the Detroit Lions. Okay, I mean, we really do. We got a team that is right there, that realizes the how important this is. You got guys on there like Myles Garrett that have been there long enough that they know how special this is. All those things, you put that together, and you know the playoffs. The playoffs, you play hard. You play like it's the last game because it is the last game. And
Right.
when you got a team like ours as motivated as hard as we are, man, I'll tell you what, I mark my words, okay? Even if we win the Super Bowl, there will be tears on the sidelines. Some of those players are so emotional about this year, okay? No matter what happens, when it's done, they're going to be in tears. That's how good this is.
Because they've held that in for so long, that adversity. I know, that's exactly right. I will say this: I am a grown ass man, and I had tears the night that the Cleveland Cavaliers won the championship. I became very teary eyed that night, and I'll tell you why I became teary eyed, because I knew not only what that meant for that team, but I know what that meant for that championship for the city of Cleveland. Right? It meant so much more, and honestly, that's why LeBron James broke down in tears on the floor in that particular moment, because he knew this was bigger than the team. He knew this was bigger because of how much the city deserved this, wanted it, and had been trying to get some type of championship for decades. Yeah, so I agree. This is a dangerous team to play. Couple quick shout outs from a couple of our other sponsors. Boy, if Victory Monday couldn't be better, they will be closed tomorrow. But guess what? On Tuesday, guys, Angelo's Pizza in Lakewood is doing half price pizzas. They normally do it on Monday, but go on Tuesday, because, by the way, how does that sound good? Look, Ray's ready for some pizza right there. He's rubbing his belly. Yeah, get over there, have some wonderful, wonderful Angelo's Pizza. And by the way, you can get some wonderful Lorello wine while you're there. They have the Here We Go Brownies wine and some other selections there. And by the way, if wine is not your thing, Cleveland whiskey. They have the bourbon ale whiskey, by the way. The Christmas bourbon whiskey is out there in the stores, the liquor stores in Ohio. They have the Wheat Penny. They have the bourbon, the double barrel. They have it all over there. Support local. Go to clevelandwhiskey.com, to find which liquor stores have it. And if they don't have it in your local establishments, ask for it, guys. Guys, you know what tomorrow is? It's Victory Monday. Victory Monday. So,
we got our share.
Well, how about this, guys? Let's just put this in perspective. The Cleveland Browns have twice as many wins as they have losses, and we have 2 more games to play. That says a lot right there. We have twice as many wins as we have losses, and we have 2 more wins to say. But guys, before we sign off tonight, any closing comments? I'll start with you, Larry, and then we'll go to Ray, and then I'll finish it off.
Closing comments. Man, I can't go back. I can't get away from the historical feel of this whole thing. It's a special time to be a Cleveland Browns fan. Special for all of us to be in it. It's you know how long it's been since any of us have felt comfortable going into the fourth quarter of any game. The only thing that held you back, I got a phone call first minute of the fourth quarter. No, probably 5 minutes left in the game from my niece. And she called me up nervous because they had done an onside kick and they were starting to come back. And I'm sitting there, I'm already celebrating. Okay, I'm already celebrating. And I looked at her and I said, the only reason why you have a point is because we were at the Jets game last week. Last year.
Oh, I think we might have lost Larry again.
We might have lost Larry.
Lost Larry. That's gonna be his new name, Lost Larry. I love it. So he looks like he's still there. I think Larry's still there. We lost Larry. But hey, with that, Ray, let's have you give your thought.
Well, he's doing all of that. Well, hey, my last thought was going to be, hey, this is a great time of the year, Christmas Eve. We want a big game. everybody enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the moment. Be safe. Don't eat too much. Peace and love. That's all I got. And Larry looks like he needs a flashlight.
So I went ahead and just kicked. I apologize to Larry, but I think Larry thought he was done and then left with his phone and walked off. So we're just gonna kick Larry out. Hey, that is perfect, Larry. Right? Like, I'm out. See ya. I'm out of here.
Right.
So go ahead. Sorry, there was a little bit of noise there, but go ahead. You were gonna say, Ray?
I finished.
Okay.
I did.
All right. Well, guys, hey, have a Merry Christmas Eve. Enjoy this win. Enjoy this time for with your family. And more importantly, thank you for taking the time to watch Larry, myself, and Ray take in and enjoy this wonderful big win for the Cleveland Browns, 10-5. It's an amazing feat that this team has done. Also, join Ray. Come see Ray and I and Larry. We're going to be hanging out at the Barley House, going down there to see, of course, the Hall of Famer, Joe Thomas. He'll be down there, and then we're going to wander over to the Muni lot, have some mimosas, and we're going to take in all the festivities. Right, Ray?
Right, and that's Thursday at 3, correct?
Thursday at 3, but we got to get there early because you know why we got to get there early. But
I was telling people that was watching Thursday at 3.
Thursday at 3 for the drink start slinging.
Right.
But guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, go Browns.
Go Browns.